Digital Designer Designation, the podcast.
Ever feel like you're trying to build a business empire on a dial-up connection? Well, buckle up, because today's deep dive is all about breaking free from those limitations. We're talking cloud computing.
And no foy.
Yeah.
It's not just about storing your vacation photos.
That's right. It's way more than that, like having a high-powered server room at your fingertips without the hassle and expense of actually maintaining one.
Exactly.
What's the most surprising thing you've learned about the potential impact of this, especially for businesses and developers?
I think what's truly revolutionary is how it levels the playing field.
Yeah.
In the past, if you were a small startup with a big idea, you needed significant upfront investment in hardware and IT infrastructure. Cloud computing changes that.
It does.
Suddenly, you can access the same computing power as a Fortune 500 company, paying only for what you use. It's like having the ability to scale your resources up or down instantly, like turning a faucet.
So instead of pouring money into physical infrastructure, businesses can focus on developing their core products and services. That's huge.
Exactly. And it's not just about cost savings. Cloud computing also offers incredible flexibility. Developers can access the latest software tools and platforms without lengthy installations or compatibility issues. It's like having a constantly updated digital toolbox at your disposal.
Wow. I imagine that speed and agility would be a game changer, especially in today's fast-paced business environment.
Absolutely. But it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. Understanding the different types of cloud services is key.
Okay, so let's break those down. I've heard the terms IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS thrown around.
Right. Think of those as different levels of service. IaaS, or infrastructure as a service, is the foundation. It's like renting the raw materials, servers, storage, networking, and then building your own infrastructure on top of it. This gives you the most control, but also requires more technical expertise.
So if IaaS is building your own house from the ground up, what's PaaS like?
PaaS, or platform as a service, is like opting for a prefabricated house. You get a pre-built platform with all the essential components for developing and running applications. You don't need to worry about managing the underlying infrastructure, which frees you up to focus on building and deploying your applications faster.
Okay, that makes sense. And then we have SaaS, which I think most people are already pretty familiar with.
Yes. SaaS, or software as a service, is the most widely used form of cloud computing. These are the applications we access directly over the internet, like email, productivity suites, customer relationship management tools.
So instead of installing software on your computer, it lives in the cloud and you access it through a web browser.
Exactly. And this subscription-based model means you always have the latest version without having to manage updates or installations. It's convenience and accessibility at its finest.
Yeah. It's interesting how each layer of cloud service builds on the previous one, offering a different level of control and complexity.
Precisely. Choosing the right cloud solution depends on your specific needs and technical capabilities.
And just like with any major business decision, there are factors to weigh carefully, right? We've touched on the benefits, but what about the potential challenges of going all in on the cloud?
You're right to raise that. Security is always a major concern. When you entrust your data and applications to a third-party provider, you need to be confident in their security measures.
It's like handing over the keys to your digital kingdom. What should businesses be looking for to ensure their data is protected?
First and foremost, look for providers with a strong track record in security and compliance. Do your research check if they have industry standard certifications and what their data encryption policies are. Also, understand your responsibilities in a shared responsibility model.
It's like anything else. Understanding the shared responsibility is key, whether it's cloud security or just remembering to lock your front door. But speaking of sophisticated systems, let's shift gears from infrastructure to intelligence, artificial intelligence to be precise. It's a term that gets thrown around a lot these days.
It really does, and often gets conflated with science fiction scenarios. But at its core, artificial intelligence is about developing systems that can perform tasks that typically require human intelligence.
Tasks like recognizing patterns, making decisions, even understanding natural language things that until recently, only humans could do. What's fascinating to me is how AI is already woven into our daily lives, often in ways we don't even realize.
Absolutely. From personalized recommendations on streaming services to the algorithms that filter spam from your inbox, AI is working behind the scenes, shaping our digital experiences.
It's like having a team of invisible assistants, constantly learning and adapting to our preferences. But there's a big difference between these narrow AI applications and the idea of general AI, right?
That's a crucial distinction. What we mostly encounter today is narrow AI designed to excel at specific tasks within a limited domain. These systems are trained on massive data sets and use algorithms to identify patterns and mix predictions.
So a spam filter is trained on millions of emails to recognize the characteristics of spam, while a recommendation engine analyzes your past viewing habits to suggest content you might enjoy.
Exactly. These systems are becoming incredibly sophisticated, but they're still limited by their programming and the data they're trained on. General AI, on the other hand, is the concept of a machine with human-like cognitive abilities, capable of understanding, learning, and applying knowledge across a wide range of tasks and domains.
That's where the real science fiction aspect comes, in the idea of a machine that can truly think for itself, like we see in the movies. But even if general AI is still largely theoretical, the advancements in narrow AI are happening at an incredible pace. We're seeing breakthroughs in areas like machine learning, natural language processing, and computer vision, to name a few.
And those breakthroughs are driving a wave of innovation across industries. Machine learning, for instance, is being used to develop everything from self-driving cars to personalized medicine.
It's mind-boggling to think how these technologies will continue to evolve and what impact they'll have on our lives in the coming years. What are some of the areas within AI that you find particularly exciting or promising?
One area that I find particularly fascinating is the intersection of AI and healthcare. Machine learning algorithms are being used to analyze medical images with greater accuracy than humans, leading to earlier and more accurate diagnoses.
That's incredible. And it speaks to the potential of AI to not just automate tasks, but to augment human capabilities in really meaningful ways.
Precisely. AI has the potential to revolutionize how we diagnose and treat diseases, personalize treatment plans, and even accelerate drug discovery.
And it's not just healthcare. From finance to transportation to education, the potential applications of AI are vast and still unfolding. It's almost like AI is poised to become this generation's electricity transforming industries and fundamentally changing how we live and work.
That's a powerful analogy, and I think it's accurate. But just like with any powerful technology, it's how we harness and direct it that ultimately matters.
Absolutely. And speaking of harnessing technology, let's talk about a concept that takes connectivity to a whole new level, the Internet of Things. It sounds like something out of a futuristic novel, a world where everyday objects are interconnected and communicating with each other.
It does, doesn't it? But in reality, the Internet of Things, or IoT as it's often called, is already becoming part of our present. It's essentially the convergence of physical devices with the digital world.
We're talking about everything from smart thermostats and appliances to connected cars and even entire smart cities. What I find fascinating is how seamlessly these technologies are starting to integrate into our lives.
Exactly. And that's the hallmark of well-designed technology. It should enhance our lives, not distract from them. The beauty of the IoT is that it has the potential to do both, making our homes more comfortable and efficient, our cities more responsive and sustainable, and even our industries more productive and innovative.
Okay, so let's break down how this interconnected web actually works. We've touched on some of the applications, but what's going on behind the scenes?
At its core, an IoT system is all about data, collecting it, transmitting it, and making sense of it. Imagine a network of sensors embedded in various devices and infrastructure. These sensors act as the eyes and ears of the system, constantly gathering information about the physical environment.
So a sensor in your refrigerator might track the expiration dates of your groceries, while sensors in a smart city could monitor traffic flow, air quality, or even noise levels.
Precisely. This data is then transmitted wirelessly, often using technologies like Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, to a central hub or the cloud, where it can be aggregated and analyzed.
And that's where the real magic happens, right? Turning raw data into actionable insights.
Exactly. This is where sophisticated algorithms and machine learning come into play. By analyzing patterns and trends in the data, the system can identify anomalies, make predictions, and even automate actions.
So your smart thermostat learns your temperature preferences and adjusts automatically, or a connected car can alert you to potential maintenance issues before they become major problems.
Absolutely. And the applications are virtually limitless. In manufacturing, IoT sensors can monitor equipment performance and predict failures, reducing downtime and saving costs. In healthcare, wearable devices can track vital signs and alert doctors to potential health concerns in real time.
Wow, it's incredible to think about the potential of this technology to transform industries and improve our quality of life. But with all this connectivity comes increased responsibility. What are some of the challenges we need to address as we enter this increasingly interconnected future?
That's a crucial question. One of the biggest challenges is ensuring the security and privacy of all this data. With billions of devices connected to the internet, the potential attack surface for hackers and cybercriminals expands exponentially.
It's like having a million new entry points to your digital home. So how do we make sure these systems are secure and our data is protected?
It requires a multifaceted approach. Manufacturers need to prioritize security in the design and development of IoT devices, building in robust authentication measures and encryption protocols. Consumers need to be educated about the importance of strong passwords and regular software updates.
It's a shared responsibility, just like with any aspect of cybersecurity. We can't simply rely on technology to solve these challenges. We need to be proactive and informed.
I couldn't agree more. And as we become increasingly reliant on these interconnected systems, it's crucial to have open conversations about the ethical implications as well. Who is responsible when something goes wrong? How do we ensure these technologies are used responsibly and don't exacerbate existing inequalities?
These are all critical questions that we need to grapple with as we enter this exciting but also somewhat uncharted territory. It's a bit like venturing into a new frontier, full of promise and possibility, but also requiring careful navigation and a healthy dose of caution.
Precisely. And just like any great exploration, it's the journey itself, the continuous learning and adaptation that will ultimately lead us to the most valuable discoveries.
Well said. And on that note, we've reached the end of our deep dive for today. We've covered a lot of ground, from the foundational power of cloud computing to the transformative potential of AI and the interconnected world of the IoT.
It's been a pleasure exploring these fascinating topics with you.
The pleasure is all ours. And for our listeners, we hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity and given you a new perspective on the digital forces shaping our world. Remember, knowledge is power, but it's the application of that knowledge, the critical thinking and engagement that truly makes the difference. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deeper into the ever-evolving world of technology.